Well, hello. Welcome back to week number 6. Hi, guys. For those of you just starting to listen to my podcast, my name is Cappy Jackson. Every week, I take a look at dirty tricks that have been explained in The Thinker's Guide to Fallacies, The Art of Mental Trickery and Manipulation, written by Dr. Richard Paul and Dr. Linda Elder. We're currently at week 6, and that means I'm looking at dirty trick number 11, begging the question. And dirty trick number 12, call for the perfection. So, to start us off, let's look at dirty trick number 11, begging the question. What is that? Well, begging the question can be assumed. You know what? Begging the question can be summed up by trying to prove a point by assuming it in the first place. Does that make sense? Well, if that definition doesn't make sense to you, hopefully these examples will give you a better light to what I was just trying to say. What's a good example? Oh, okay, I have one. Elmo. Who does not love Elmo? It's going to be the fastest toy sold this holiday season. See what I did there? Of course you did. Well, of course you didn't, actually. I just assumed that everyone loves Elmo. And it'd be sold super quickly because everyone loves it. So now you're going to think in your head, oh, I wonder if everyone does love it, and if so, should I go buy one? And that's a begging question because I just assumed that everyone loved it, and I just assumed that everyone's going to go buy it and it'll be sold out. But, you know, who knows? I was just implying that and totally guessing and assuming. Okay, well, if you didn't like that example, let me try and find another one. What's a good example? Let me think. Okay, I got one. Diet soda is better for you than regular soda. Why? 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 Exactly why? Why would diet soda be better for you than regular soda? You're just gonna assume it is because I just said it is. And because I said the word diet, and everyone thinks a diet's healthier for you than normal. So, hopefully, those two examples really helped you figure out what begging the question means. And let's start and take a look at Donald J. Trump's rally at High Point, North Carolina, and see if we can find some examples of him using dirty trick number 11, begging the question. Okay, so in this specific rally, Trump used begging the question in an odd way, but it still begs the question. When Trump was talking at his rally, he brought up Clinton and her immigration policies, as he always does because he's Trump. So he said, and I quote, "Imagine this. We gave them citizenship as they were getting ready for deportation." Now, Trump likes to talk a lot, and this is a good example of begging the question because Trump is not only giving part of the issue, he's not necessarily giving all of the information. And also, with this statement, you need to pay close attention to the words Trump used when articulating the quote unquote facts. Who knows if he knows all of the information about this situation? Maybe they weren't getting ready for deportation. Maybe they were. Who knows? But he's doing a great job of begging the question because he is talking to his supporters who most likely don't like Clinton, so they will agree with whatever Trump says about her. So this was a good tactic for a politician. Another example of begging the question that Trump used during his rally was when he said, "What do you have to lose? Your education is broke and your communities are unsafe." This is a great example of begging the question because of the way he phrased it. The way he phrased it prejudges the issue and he's assuming. He's assuming that nothing is going to happen. He's asking you to vote for him because what could really go wrong? But then in your head, you should start to think, oh, what could go wrong, right? Well, no one really knows what could go wrong because no one can really predict the future. But Trump says, what could go wrong? Go vote for me. Well, that's a good way to beg the question. It makes you think a little, but not in a direct way. Okay, so I hope after the example of Elmo and the example of diet soda, that helps you understand what begging the question really is and will help you notice when someone is using it in a political speech in the future. Okay, so we're done with dirty trick number 11. Let's look at dirty trick number 12. Okay, guys, this is really exciting and a big moment because number 12 is my favorite number. So I'm gonna give you some great examples for this one. So, pretty much, number 12 is called Call for the Perfection. And pretty much what that means is demanding the impossible. Okay, so for an example, let's see. Okay, imagine I'm your parents talking to you when you were in high school. Those days everybody misses, right? Okay, so I'm your parents talking to you. Keep that in mind. You need to get a perfect score on the SAT or you lose your allowance. Okay, I'm not your parents anymore. That is truly impossible, first of all. Second of all, no parent should tell their child that they need a perfect score on the SATs. Did their parents take the SATs when they were like, important? No, probably not. So, I've personally met one person who got a perfect score on the SAT, and the company thought they cheated and made him retake it. So, obviously, they're meant to not get a perfect score on. So, it's pretty much impossible, calling for the impossible. So, if that example didn't make sense to you, let me give you another one. Okay, I'm still your parents talking to you. To save money, you need to graduate college in 2 years with your bachelor degree. Okay, I'm not your parents anymore. That is physically impossible. Yeah, you want to save money on college. College is expensive, but there is no possible way you can graduate college with your bachelor's degree, which is 120 units, in 2 years. 3 years, maybe, but that's pushing the limits and stretching yourself as thin as possible. And you need to be taking classes during winter and summer to be graduating on time in 3 years. So, hopefully, those two examples make a lot of sense and really stick it to ya with the example of the SATs and the example of saving money in college. I really hope those help you understand dirty trick number 12, call for the perfection. So let's take a look at Donald J. Trump's rally at High Point, North Carolina again and see where he uses for the perfection. If you look at any of his rallies, you'll notice that everything he says is trying to call for the perfection, especially in his slogan in general. Make America great again. It's not going to happen. But in this rally, Trump says he wants Mexico to build and pay for the wall. He says, and I quote, "We are going to build a wall and Mexico will pay for 100% of it. We are going to build the wall." This is a call for perfection. Trump is demanding the impossible. There is no way Mexico will pay for 100% of the wall, if they even put money towards it at all. And that was a great example. Another example of call for the perfection is when he says he wants to scrap Obamacare. This is also seemingly impossible. As president, he might be able to change Obamacare, but he will not get rid of it. Too many people in the United States love Obamacare too much to get rid of it completely. He might say he's going to get rid of it, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. And that concludes our look at dirty trick number 11, begging the question, and dirty trick number 12, my favorite number, call for the perfection. I really hope these examples helped you understand these dirty tricks, and I hope that you understand them and are able to notice when politicians use them in their next speeches. And I can't wait for next week, week 7, to look at dirty trick number 13 and dirty trick number 14. Well, have a good weekend, and you'll hear from me next week.